Manchester United 2, Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace 0. The top 4 race is well and truly on. I've already done my match review. This is about getting United fans on and rivals. We will have rivals on a little bit later as well. Ram, I think, is going to come on because Ram's going to be scared because Man United are back. I can taste it. I can feel it. It's palpable. It's real. I'm just absolutely buzzing. We've got the boys on already. We're going to jump straight into this. Gentlemen, how are we all? Avengers, baby. Avengers, baby. That's what I'm saying. Man United boys in the house. Who wants to start? I mean, after I've done my review, I've given my opinions already. Who wants to start with this? Go on, JV. What you saying, bro?
Yeah, man. Good, bro. Can you hear me?
Perfect.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, man. Just what I say. Like you said, bro, we're back, man. We're back. Not like we ever went, 19 games unbeaten. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like we ever went anywhere. But, bro, game by game, Ollie's winning me over, He's winning me over. Everything's clicking. Bruno, Rashford, Martial. We didn't even look like we bust a sweat today. Do you know what I'm saying? It even look like we didn't have to put in the work. I don't want to say it's like a cocky thing, but we realized the levels what we had to expend today. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't one of them where we were ran ragged or we were running them ragged. We didn't even really get out of gears. And I like to see us win games like that. And I like to see us see out games. We've seen that game out as well. We brought on Matic, seen the game out. Do you get what I mean? For me, those games are better than when we beat someone 5-0. I'd rather see us get a lead and see it out. Do you get what I'm saying? Because that's championship form. That type of form there, that match there in a different season, when you need to win win games to win the league, that's the type of match that you need. It's not the 5-0s, it's them matches there. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
and you know what's crazy about it? Like, I've seen hundreds. I'm slightly older than all you, man. Maybe not Danny, to be fair. Danny might be about the same age. The amount of times I see Fergie win games like that, the amount of times this season I've seen Liverpool win games like that. And I never once called them lucky, called them cheats, blamed refs, nothing. For me, it always has been the same thing when it comes to that. It's about you just standing up and having the quality at the right moments of grinding out a result. Cameron, so you were very nervous before the game. You didn't want to be as confident. What did you make of the performance from Man United tonight?
I mean, I was nervous up until as soon as Bruno hit the post, like at the bar, I was like, no. It had that weird feeling. But to be honest, man, I thought we were in control most of the game. It's just like, weird things happen. Like when Bruno misses that, like to me, that's a weird shot. Like that's a goal every 9 times out of 10 it's a goal. So when that happens, you get a little nervous, right? The offside, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. Like you're gonna be a toe, you're gonna be a foot, you're offside, you're offside. That's just the rules, yo. So people want to be upset about it, be upset. Honestly, I think we were in control.
The offside is my favorite one because I've said this about VAR all year, right? The subjective decision still causes debate. The point of offside being given is like the ball crossed the line. Did it or did it not cross the line? That's the question. And was it or was it not offside? And it was. It was offside. Maybe
it was a toe.
Centimeters, but it's offside. And I love the fact that people were like, United were lucky. I'm like, hang on, how backwards are you when if there wasn't VAR, the incorrect decision would have taken a win away from the lucky people. We're lucky in the sense that VAR existed, but all that happened tonight was the correct result was generated by the correct decisions being given. I never understand people's anger at the objective decisions in football. Like Liverpool when they got the penalty against Spurs in the Champions League. The rule was, does it touch any part of the arm, even by 1 millimeter that you're not allowed to play the ball with? Yes, then it's a penalty. There's no, it was only an inch of it. But it doesn't matter. Did it happen? Did it not? Did anyone think it was not offside?
No. Once he saw it, it was offside. There was no question.
I was a little bit like...
I thought it was on.
At first, yeah.
I thought it was on until I saw it.
Offside decisions are not debatable. We were offside or they're not. It wasn't.
I thought he was onside. I thought he was onside until I saw it.
The penalty is a different matter.
Nah,
Not
I touched
gonna
the
lie,
ball first, bro.
again.
No pen.
No, he touched the ball first. No pen. Lindelof stood up. See, this is one thing
Yo,
people got to
I love
recognize.
it.
Lindelof.
I'm loving the biasness.
I'll be no. So the Lindelof thing,
That's what
honestly,
all day long, man.
I think he got the ball first. I think he got the ball first. I truly think he got the ball first. That's what I saw. Like maybe
I'll take
I'm.
your word for it. I believe you.
I looked at it. It looked like the left foot touched the ball first, and then they clattered into each other. I think Zaha was out of control. He was a little bit out of control. He didn't make it easy on the ref to call a penalty.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking. Like,
You know what? If it's another player, other than Zaha, we might be in.
Again, no, yeah, I said that to my dad. I said to my dad, maybe because Zaha has a reputation of going down easy, that the ref in his mind is like, oh, he's trying to con me, so I'm just gonna give it to him. So
Plus, Zaha's quite clumsy, like as well. Zaha's quite a clumsy player. Like I think he tackles himself more times in a game than then he gets tackled by an opponent, and that's part of it. But I didn't think it was. I looked at it and I thought he marginally touched the ball first. But that's the whole point with those decisions. And this is where football fans get triggered because they don't know the law. Offsides are objective, meaning there's no clear and obvious protocol. It's either it was or it wasn't offside. When it comes to a penalty, you had to slow it down and like really focus in to go, oh, did he touch the leg or the ball first? The fact that you have to really slow it down and check 3 or 4 angles and it's minuscule, that's not a clear and obvious error. Does that make sense? And that's what the referee talks about. It's a case of they ask the referee, what did you see? So if the referee, for instance, says there was no contact with Zaha's leg and they go, actually there was, that changes it because the referee didn't see contact. That means he's made an error because there clearly was contact on the leg. And that's where I think people have got to learn the laws first before they talk about them. You get it all the time with last man. Doesn't exist. Was there a clear goal scoring opportunity that was denied? If the answer's no, it doesn't matter if you're the last man or not. It's not a red card. Danny, one player I want to speak about tonight before we get into the big boys, the regulars. Timothy Fosu-Mensah. How did he do at left back tonight? First game in 3 years.
He was okay. Like, I won't go. Yeah, he was just okay. I think Ollie made the right decision starting him because I've said to you before, Dallow's not a fullback. I don't believe Dallow's a fullback. Maybe a wing back, but he's not a fullback. Away against Crystal Palace in this situation, playing Dallow would have been the worst decision Ollie could have made with that starting lineup. Mm-hmm. So just having someone who could physically compete, he had moments where he was a bit erratic, showed his, I don't want to say inexperience, but just lack of, just certain, he'd win the ball and then give it away quickly, stuff like that. Obviously, he offered no attacking threat. I have to say, I know you want to talk about Fosu-Mensah, but the way Palace just disrespected Aaron Wan-Bissaka, if you had any doubt what other teams think of what they think about Wan-Bissaka, they're basically saying he's not a good attacking fullback. We're just going to let him have the whole right-hand side to himself and he won't do nothing. And it proved Palace right. He didn't do nothing with all that space he had down the right. And with Fosu-Mensah, he didn't offer nothing on the left. So he was just there filling space, being competitive when he had to be. He did get caught out with sort of diagonal balls and crosses, getting caught under it. Apart from that, he was just okay. That's what I'd say.
Nah, Danny, I'm gonna back my guy, man. I'm gonna back Fosu because
I think he played really, really well.
For the fact that he's been out for how long? He's come back in a position that he's not really played before. To put in that performance, I have to say he played really well. Because everyone who came saw the lineup, all I saw was, oh no, Fosu-Mensah left back. Oh, this is Europa League. Oh, we're gonna draw. We're gonna lose. Over one guy in a position. Yes, Aaron, how you doing? Avengers and that. Over a guy covering for a position that we haven't got any space for. So the fact that he's come in was solid. Hardly made any mistakes. Yes, he was lacking in the attacking threat, but think about it. He's come in for a long time. Does he really need to be going up and down, up and down, up and down after so long out? I don't really think so. So I'm giving props to him.
In that context, I get it, but he's playing as a fullback. He didn't do nothing going forward. And defensively, there were just certain moments, even in possession, just some moments where he just showed a bit of rustiness in that position. That's why I said okay. I can say okay, KJ. Don't get at me.
No. I'm not saying you're wrong for saying he's okay because you're looking at it objectively, but I'm looking at it just.
I feel like if he was a regular, it would be for me. It would be an average performance. I just think he did well considering that he hasn't played in that. That's why I wanted to start with him.
Is there fourth choice? No.
Yeah, exactly. Like, not even that. Like, he ain't been. I don't even think he's been in a match day squad this year. Like, he's not been on the bench even. But I want to speak about. We've always spoke about the VAR decisions. I think most people have. We've got a few differences of opinions. By the way, you can call into the show now and ask us any questions you want. The StreamYard link is in the description below. Rival fans, if you want to come on and bitch about how VAR helps us, I dare you, brother. I dare you to come on here. We can taste your tears already. I want to speak about Dr. Rashford.
Iron Man, fam. Let's
Someone
go
chat.
again.
Someone chat to me, especially his first goal. That composure. Like, I want to hear what people think about that.
He seems to have been rejuvenated these past couple of games. Like, he seems like he's back to his best.
I can't hear
Flawless,
by the way.
Can you not hear me? He's saying he can't hear me. I can hear you, but it's calm. You lot translate. Yeah, as we were saying, yeah, you lot to translate for me, innit? Basically, Rashford's back to his best. I think in the past couple of games, I thought he was man of the match. The first goal, exceptional the way to take that, and I think he sent the goalkeeper and 2 defenders the other way. I think they're still going now.
Yeah, they're still at the shop.
Yeah, they're still there, and like, it was great. It's great to see him back to his best, because out of the 5 Avengers, he was the one who looked most off the pace when we had come back. Like, obviously Martial was looking good, Greenwood was doing what he was doing, Bruno and Pogba were interlinking, but it's good to see him step up at vital moments, and he's had a goal and an assist today. So it's like, that's really, really, really good to see. And Martial as well. People, please put more respect on his name. I just have to talk about Martial, because I can't believe those people that doubted him.
Panther, baby.
I said this here from the jump. I love that, Black Panther. That's what he is. Just ice cold. I said this from the jump. All he needs is service. As a number 9, he has everything. He has everything. When he blew past Sacco, I couldn't believe it, because Sacco's pretty quick, and he literally just gone past him, shot past him. Like, I had to look and check it wasn't Scott Dan, and I was like, right, that's Martial. Like, for real. Like, he has everything as a 9. So I can't believe that people were talking about, like, we need another 9. So yeah, today's game is similar to the Villa game. Like, you could pretty much replay what I said in that. United weren't at their best, no, but we did what was required to get the win. Yes, we rolled our luck. Obviously, the VAR decision went in our way, which is good. I do believe it was a penalty. Like, it's a penalty, but hey, I'm not gonna complain. But yeah, man, all in all, 3 points. I'm happy.
Well, the way Marcus went past those 3 men was absolutely. I was cussing. I was like, keep the ball, and then he did his skills. I was like, do whatever you want. Do whatever.
That was some PlayStation business. That was some PlayStation business. That goal there, that goal was some PlayStation playground business.
So disgusting.
Had a laugh.
Absolutely. Aaron, yeah, no, I was just gonna move on to Aaron and say, like,
okay, cool.
There's a lot of, I want us to speak about this, because I think I saw a lot of bile, a lot of anger, a lot of nonsense on social media throughout the course of that game from forget rivals, because they are rattled like you wouldn't believe. I actually saw one Liverpool fan legit. I honestly think he was crying when he was tweeting, going, "It's not fair, they get all the decisions." But Man United fans were kicking off throughout the whole game, as if we should. Like, my view is this: if anyone believes we should be playing and winning, those 4 games that we've smashed it. If anyone thinks that's how we should be playing and winning every single game, you've never watched football before in your life. This isn't amateur or professional level on FIFA. Aaron, what was your opinion on the game? And also, what's your thoughts on Man United fans who are still not satisfied with us being 19 games unbeaten?
So today, well, it's a proof that, you can play horrible football and still win games, which is what we did today in large parts of the game. First half, horrible first half. I'm not even going to sit here and lie to you. The first half was awful. It looked like we showed them too much respect. We gave them too much room. I mean, for God's sake, man, Zaha had a chance after two minutes, not even 2 minutes into the game. And thank God De Gea today was his day. Pulled out some amazing saves, kept us in the game. Second half, we only started to come alive when Matic came on. And this is not me, having a go at Scott McTominay, or as you like to call him, Scotty Mac. But if you want to be because right now he's a decent player. If you want to develop and become a class Manchester United player, you've got to do more than just pass sideways and backwards. You've got to do more. I'm sorry, Scott McTominay, but all I see him do today, unless, at some points I wasn't really paying attention, but for large parts of the game today, I've seen him pass backwards, sideways and just go for those easy, safe passes. No, you've got to be able to take risks. Do you know what I mean? Play that pass that's going to cut through defenses. Play that pass that's going to take 2-3 man out. And when Matic came on the pitch, that's exactly what he did because that's what we used from him. A lot of players today, to their standards, weren't good. I think Bruno today had a poor game. A lot of misplaced passes. But what I do like about him is that he doesn't let that, despite him misplacing a lot of passes, his head wasn't down. He kept going, kept trying. He was very unlucky with the goal. I mean, because everything
he's not unlucky. He should have scored. Yeah, we weren't unlucky. He should have scored.
I was going to say he's unlucky with the goal, but the only thing I'm going to say is he tried to hit it too hard. Do you know what I mean? Whereas he had the time to just place it, pick a corner, just place it. And yeah, man, it's just, yeah, we played ugly football. We didn't play well. First half was horrible, but we got the 3 points in the end. And I'm happy that we were able to have games like this where we don't play the most attractive football. We don't play the attractive football that we're used to playing when it comes to counter-attacks and stuff, but we still able to win. What I am going to say to finish off is we need to have more in our locker. We can't just be a team that's going to, they score on breaks. Oh, look at Man United on the break. We have to be able to properly break down teams, and because it seems like right now it's just too much of, there is a system there, but we're too much relying on Bruno and Pogba to make things happen. And you've seen it as soon as Bruno switched on, that one split second, quick combination between him, Rashford, and Martial, and we've got the goal. Do you know what I mean? We've got to be able to create more. Like, I want to see more creation, because when you shut down Bruno, it's like you shut down the whole team, and that can't be happening. And because Pogba's too deep anyway, he can't make things happen because he has to be that kind of link between the defense and the attack. Because Bruno at certain points, he was playing like a second striker. Like, he was up front, he was pressing by himself. And I'm like, well, why is he doing that? So, yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
Sorry, can I just piggyback off that point?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, just to sort of, one thing that impressed me today, obviously I'm Ollie in, and I've always believed, or haven't always, but for a decent amount of time I believed in Ollie's system. I was happy, I see JB smiling. I'm happy he's getting on board slowly with Ollie. What really impressed me today...
Go to the dark side, JV, man.
I mentioned it before. The way Palace set up, they basically said, you're not going through the middle. We're going to block you on the left, have the right-hand side. When a team does that, and your our back four moves, they're so ponderous on the bloody ball, and that spreads throughout the team. I don't care. In normal circumstances, when a team's going to defend you evenly everywhere, you can't move the ball slowly. So when Palace did that today by staying compact through the middle and blocking us on the left, what we want to do, our primary focus is always getting into that half space. We always want to get in behind the midfield. And what impressed me was, even though we weren't playing well, the first opportunity we had to get Bruno in behind the midfield, we were decisive and effective. And that's how we scored the goal. That says to me that they understand Ollie's ideas. And when the going gets tough, if they only had a few opportunities to implement it, they will. And the counter-attack, that's been a feature all season long. That's, I get the point that you want to see chances created all the time. But, these are, that counter-attack feature of the Man United game has been there all season.
I didn't feel though tonight. I didn't feel the goals were counter-attack goals tonight, though. I didn't feel they were.
No. I'm just saying it looked like we looked lively when we did go on the break. Do you know what I mean?
No, and I get that, but that's also because let's credit to Palace. I mean, they went 4-4-2 almost straight away. They had solid banks of four, made it hard, and scoring 3 or more goals in a game, it isn't that common considering the goal. We did well, and we actually should have probably won 3 or 4-0 tonight. You look at their chances. Other than Zaha running through towards the end, and actually that wasn't. Maguire was caught out because Matic should have intercepted the ball and it took it round him. Other than that, all their attempts were from distance. The one other than the goal that was offside, and we don't need to talk about that because it wasn't a goal. It wasn't even a chance because it gets scrapped. I was comfortable with how we played. I want to see a bit more faster passing from out the back early on in the games. But overall, I just think we look so much more deadly now than we were. And you're on your point on Bruno. There was a couple of really poor passes where were really bad attempts, but there were 2 or 3 other attempts at through balls where if they came off, the one with the flick up on the volley when he went to put Greenwood.
That was beautiful. This
is the thing. If you don't take those risks, we're never going to have those moments that live on in our memories forever. It's almost like with Bruno, when I was getting frustrated when we were in the 70th minute, I'm thinking, don't take those risky opportunities now in the 70th minute when it's 1-0. Try and keep the ball for a bit and work them. And maybe it's just getting the balance right. But welcome to the show, bro. I want to get you. What's your thoughts on the performance game and more importantly?
I want to pick up where when I joined from what Aaron was saying in terms of us creating chances. And I think where we lacked today in terms of creating chances, other than on the counter attack, was the lack of our attacking prowess from our fullbacks. And obviously, we all know Wan-Bissaka needs to improve his attacking. Palace was so confident that his attacking wouldn't be good enough that they were willing to give him the whole of the right and say, well, I dare you, do something. And he wasn't able to do it. He got a few crosses in, but considering how much space he had and how many times we actually found him out there, he really needs to work on that side of the game. We know, and we all know that. We've been saying it all season. He has improved as season's gone on. But I think he still needs to work on that. And the fact that, we've got Fosu Mensah playing at left back, and he's not even a fullback, really. He has played at right back before, but he's not a fullback. He's right foot, he's playing at left back. He's a defensive midfielder, at worst a centre back. And we're expecting, or maybe we need more from our fullbacks. And of course, he could have played Dalot there, but I feel that the risk of a Townsend or Zaha moving onto that side is a risk that Solskjaer wasn't willing to take. So we were hamstrung by the availability or the lack thereof of our left backs in terms of Luke Shaw, Brandon Williams, and Wan-Bissaka's lack of ability going forward, which he really, really needs to work on. I'm not going to slate him. Like, we know what we bought and we know what he needs to work on. But I think that's where we really suffered in terms of creating chances in open play. And I think it really, the midfield wasn't great again. McTominay, Pogba was sloppy on the ball in terms of holding on to it. McTominay wasn't breaking the lines with his forward pass, and we saw the difference when Matic came on. As he broke up the play outside the area, his first pass forward, he passed through the midfield, and we're in space. We're running at their defense, and we didn't have that. And I understand why he dropped Matic or rested him, because we had so much games in so little period of time, and Matic wasn't great against Southampton on midfield, so we needed to rotate, we needed to rest. But the changes to bring on Matic and Lingard when we did is really what won us the game, because we could have conceded, as we nearly did, at any point before them two came on. So I credit those substitutions, and I credit the mentality, because what I wanted to see more than anything in this game was our ability to come back from such a deflating draw on Monday and say, have we got the mentality when the pressure is on? Norwich, Chelsea won, Leicester won, we had to win. And by hook or by crook, we had to get the 3 points, and we had the mentality to see it through in the end.
We did, and I think there's two things as well I want to call out. Again, we spoke about Dr. Rashford already, in the sense that, two clutch moments from him tonight, because Tony scored the goal, great. Good one, amazing 1-2 between Bruno and Tony to help create his first goal. But Rashford stepped up tonight. When you judge strikers and you judge your attacking players, it's clutch moments. And of course, Tony finished that chance off, so he deserves a massive shout out as well. That's what they're turning into, those two. But I also thought that Lingard came on and did a really good job. Greenwood had a typical 18-year-old performance tonight, where he looked a little bit lost, which happens in these games. And I thought Lingard, to his credit, with everything else that's been said about him, I thought he came on and actually put in a decent performance, and this is Lingard's level. He is the player that comes on for 20 minutes here. He's the guy that starts when we're playing at home against the bottom of the league. He'll put in performances when he's surrounded by really good players.
And you know what Lingard did good, because Wan-Bissaka got booked in the second half, and I think that was the moment where Zaha said, "Yeah, I'm gonna run at you now." And of course, the disallowed goal came from that side. When Lingard came on, he was doubling back and helping Wan-Bissaka on that right-hand side. He did a good job when he came on.
That's the whole thing what I've always said about Greenwood playing wide.
Working hard enough off the ball.
Say that again.
You know what it is? You know what it is with Greenwood, yeah? It's because we have to remember, Greenwood's a centre forward.
He's a striker.
Forward. He's not a winger. He's not a winger in a three up front, and he's certainly not a winger in what we play, which is, I don't know, like a hybrid 4-5-1 sometimes. He's not used to defending. How many times in Greenwood's career has he found himself tracking winger, the opposition winger? He give away that foul in the box, and that's a strike. That's a striker's tackle. Do you get what I mean? He give it one away, and it's one of those where Ollie has to watch when he's playing Greenwood there, because he will get targeted. If we play a team bombing forward left back, can you play Greenwood there? you get what I'm saying?
That's why even on Sunday, it's risky to play Greenwood because
Yeah, I would say I'll play James.
Pulisic is going to be on that side, and Pulisic is going to want to run at Wan-Bissaka and going to run at what's his name, Lindelof. So I think having someone that's going to track the runs, and of course Alonso's always going to get forward to track those runs. Even whether it's a James or a Lingard, I think either one of them could come in on Sunday.
But I think this is exactly. Sorry.
No,
Another thing about Lingard.
No. So I was going to say, I think everything we're saying now is exactly why we have to focus this summer on making sure we get the right guys in, like a Sancho. Imagine you bringing in a Van de Beek or a Grealish or somebody instead of a Lingard. As much as he played well today, like that's not. I was worried when he was coming on, right? Like our depth is a big. We're papering over that crack right now, and like the gapper has to be back. Like we need a right-sided attacker in Sancho. Like it's just if we're gonna be where we need to be next year, we can't. That's got to be the focus. You got to go and get that midfielder who you can bring on, and there's not a worry. It's not like is he gonna put in the shift? Like we don't have those players right now. The fact that we have Fosu Mensah playing at left back, we can't play Dalot because he's a winger that was bought to play fullback. You know what I mean? Like our team is so imbalanced from our past managers that we don't have the right backup in place. All he's been able to do is fix the first team. He hasn't been able to fix the backup.
But that's also why. Sorry, Flawless. Go on, Flawless. Go on, mate. You go, mate.
No, I was just going to say, and this comes into, even though we've won today and Ollie's got the result, you have to give him credit and the team credit. With Greenwood tracking back, if United dominate the ball, which we should have, that wouldn't be an issue, and we probably get more out of Greenwood. Because really against Palace, yes, they're well organised. They're tough to beat. They're tough to break down. But they are a bang average outfit. Like, let's keep it 100%. They are a bang average outfit. We should go there and dominate the ball. Same way against Southampton, where we got unstuck. Against Southampton, against probably most teams in the league, probably bar the top two. Obviously, you can maybe throw Chelsea in there as well. United should be dominating the ball home and away. And if you have the ball, not only are you not defending, the other team can't score. And this is my point. And yes, I don't get the obsession with us as well as playing out from the back. I don't mind United playing out from the back. The issue I have with it is that we do it all of the time. Yeah, go on.
But on that though, what I would say on that though is that again, Palace. See, I get where you're coming from when you say bang average. I do get that, and I'm not overly disputing it. However, I go back to Liverpool's game there this season. We had more of the ball than Liverpool. We created more chances than Liverpool did there. We had more shots than Liverpool did against them. We had more shots in the box than Liverpool created against them. Palace, they have a habit of at home anyway, having decent games against so-called bigger teams. And I think that's why I think we shouldn't get... On paper, we should be smacking everyone below us because we're better than them as an example. But football's never worked that way, I feel like, I remember watching United in the 90s, and every time we went away to Southampton, it felt like we were trying to result out. And Palace away, look at Man United's last 10 seasons against Palace away. We've had some scrapey, lucky results there. We've been outplayed by them a few times. And I agree with Neeks on this. I was more impressed tonight with the fact that we weren't at our scintillating best. We didn't take all of our chances. But everyone stood up at what I call the clutch moments. De Gea made the saves when he had to. Maguire, Lindelof made the saves when he had to. When we had to, we create them. And De Gea had a great game tonight. He made 2 or 3 really good. I mean, the free kick. I just and then
I said it, Terry. I said it before the game. Remember, I said we have to be careful with giving away free kicks because Milivojevic is very good at them.
Dangerous.
And very dangerous. And we just happened to be lucky today that De Gea had his best day and he pulled out those amazing saves. In the second half, that Zaha chance when he just hit it and he's just over the ground, De Gea makes the save. I think, was it his foot or his hand? I don't know what it was.
And I think that was an important save because there was still 11 minutes stoppage time to come.
Exactly.
So if that went in there.
Can I just?
We got lucky with that MacArthur chance as well when he should have shot and he crossed it.
Yeah.
He was in.
Can I just talk about what Flores was saying about when us keeping the ball? I noticed that our ball retention is not as good as it could be, just for the fact that the way we want to get the ball forward. We like to get the ball quick into the midfield, quick into our forwards. I think, but the way Ollie likes to play, from what I've seen, if we can get the ball into the opposition box with 6 passes, we'll do it in 6 passes. However, what that causes is that our midfield and our defenders are like here, and then our forwards are there. So we are always trying these long fizz passes, and then what happens is sometimes because they congest the midfield, they intercept it in the midfield area, and that's why we get counter-attacked a lot on when we're trying to play. Today, I just wanted to see us, instead of being so stretched, just come back in a little bit more, make the passes a little bit shorter, and take slow territory, not always quick territory. Take slow territory, get there, and then when you're in that final third, make those quick passes into the boxes.
And that's even where Bruno. That's where Bruno's got to improve, because I love the fact he goes for these passes. Sometimes when he does all the flicks and the things around the edge of the box, it's fine. But you know that the goal that was given offside, that came from the really bad through ball he tried to play in the middle. And it's like sometimes keeping possession is more important. And that's where I say we're back. And I mean, I think we're back to winning the vast majority of games and whatnot. But there are, over the course of the summer, that is where the work needs to be done. A proper preseason for some of these guys, or some more time together working on tactics. And then, as you say, better quality signings and moving to that next level, because there are some areas that need to be worked on. But isn't it amazing, though, to be sitting here talking about where we need to improve?
I said to you before, Terry.
Go on, mate.
But I've said to you before, Terry, even at full strength, that's the one area that I just don't rate our team, and that's attacking down the flanks. We're just not good enough down the flanks. You can blame it on Ollie's ideas. You can blame it on the quality of our fullbacks. But this is what I've said to you before. I think Ollie should explore the idea of using defensive fullbacks and freeing up that double pivot so they don't have to do so much defending and covering of the back four. Because going forward, with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he's got a mid, like a low ceiling as an attacking fullback. He's not going to get that much better. And if we don't sign a left back who's better than Shaw, I've said to you before, I'm not convinced Brandon Williams is going to become a top 10, top 5 left back in the world. If we don't make significant signings in those areas, we'll face this problem again where teams are super compact through the middle and we need to do some damage out wide, and we don't because our fullbacks don't have the quality. Luke Shaw's been getting in behind recently, but his quality of ball is just not there, even though he's been getting in behind recently. So, it's going to be an issue next season. But look, I'm still happy, man. It was a massive result and our fate is still in our own hands. So I don't want to be too negative.
Mm-hmm. No, I was going to say, we said when you say defensive fullbacks, you just mean in terms of their role rather than their style, because Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw, for me, are both defensively better than they are going forward. So you mean in terms of the role Solskjaer wants them to play?
Yeah.
I think because when our wide players like to come in a lot because they're inverted wingers and they're inverted strikers. So that's why the fullbacks can be really important, or are really important, because they get that wide space. I think if we change the 4-2-3-1 to a 4-3-3 and keep the fullbacks back and then keep the wide players just a bit wider, that gives the space for the midfielders, the 2-8s, to pick up those spaces. So then our wide players can actually do the damage out wide and keeps our fullbacks covering those spaces that the midfielders
you need proper wide players. That's why you need a Sanchez. Because the striker, Rashford is inside forward.
Maybe that there is the, I think Man United are on that same curve of trajectory that Liverpool are on from the January till the end of the season when they signed Van Dijk, where they suddenly became better. We've become better. We now need that summer they had where the Fabinho, the Allisons come in and elevates further. And maybe the Sancho coming in is exactly what is that final piece of that jigsaw, in the sense of we'll make our fullbacks go forward a little bit less. Maybe we'll adopt a more one up, one down approach. When we do that, you'll then free up Paul Pogba to move himself more forward. Maybe, and if he does that, if he does change and it works, it also demonstrates, and this is all proofs in the pudding, it also demonstrates that Ollie is very tactically aware that if he does that now with what he's got as a team, it isn't going to work, but he's holding back until he gets the right players. That would tell that completely debunks the freestyle football myth, because do you get what I'm saying? If he adapts his system when he signs a new player, that means he understands football. And I can't wait.
That's literally,
you got a lot of faith in him.
Tip of the iceberg. I have so many comparable examples of the same patterns of play we've been doing all season long.
Daniel, you posted, I can't share it on the stream, but go find Daniel's Twitter link. Look up our second goal and our first goal against Southampton.
The second goal against Southampton, when we played them in the previous fixture, we scored an identical goal when we drew them 1-1. And I didn't have to find that. I had it already. because I've got them. They're there. Like we it's just a regular.
He's got receipts and he's ready.
No, honestly, I'm not even joking. Like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, I've already done that breakdown. Let me just grab that, throw it on Twitter, because I'm sick of this whole no patterns of play. You know, we have a problem. You know, the biggest thing that frustrates me, we've done it 2 games back to back. Our back, they're so ponderous on the bloody ball. They move the ball so slowly. Look, I like the way Maguire tries to be proactive, but when I see Maguire bypassing Paul Pogba, there was a moment in the second half, where he bypassed Paul Pogba, was confronted by 2 players, turned around and gave it back to him. And it's like, you should have known that was going to happen. Just give the ball to Pogba. Why are you going?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I do think that. Boys, we're going to take a different flavour with this show now because we've got a big game Sunday. And I would say, as a general rule, we're all happy with winning tonight, right? We're all happy that we grinded the result out. 19 games unbeaten.
definitely.
Doing. We've got 2 boys joining us now. We've got 2 Chelsea fans. We've got our boys. Our Chelsea boys are here. We've got Prime
David.
and we've got David in the house. I'm running to the bathroom. Can I hand over to Neeks? Let's start previewing Sunday. Talk a bit about tonight and then preview Sunday. I'm going to hand over to Neeks, one of our co-presenters on the channel, and I'm just going to be back in a minute.
Obviously, massive game. Wembley. I know no fans are going to be there, but it's a massive game nonetheless. And I want to come to Chelsea, David. Obviously, you haven't been on a great run of form since lockdown, but you got a boring but important win against Norwich. You weren't great against, I think was it Crystal Palace you played?
Beat them 3-2. But yeah.
Solskjaer says you got extra 48 hours. Are you confident those extra 48 hours, those extra 2 days, is gonna? I don't know. It's gonna be evident on the Sunday at Wembley.
I think more than anything, the reason why we'll go into this game probably looking a bit fitter is because you guys are always playing the same squad over and over. We have the ability to switch out players quite easily and put players in. Yeah, they may not be great, but what we're starting with isn't great anyway, so it's not really that much of a difference. So yeah, we have that ability to swap players in and out. So we'll probably look fitter, but for me, it's all about the tactics between the 2 managers. I think either squad is good enough to beat each other on the day, but whoever sets up their team in the right way is going to win the game.
Speak for yourself. I'm not so confident in our B squad.
No. I'm saying you guys always play, because you always have to play the same team. Going into the game, our team will be fitter, not only because of the extra hours of rest, but because in the last game, instead of starting off with Barkley and Mount the game before, we had Barkley and Loftus-Cheek, and Kovacic can come in. Kante is hopefully going to be fit as well, so he can come in. So we have extra midfielders, extra attackers. With Tammy Abraham and whatever. He's not been on great form, but he's still a man there that we have the ability to switch players out. Whereas you have to play your strongest team every single game.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how the other guys feel. I wouldn't be mad if Oli prioritized the Premier League.
100%. So 100%.
Let me come to JV. I haven't heard much since I've been on the street from him. What team are you expecting Solskjaer to put out there? Or what team do you want to see go out there, considering all the games that we got coming up after West Ham and Leicester?
Let me just check. I want to see how soon is it. Does anyone know how soon? Sunday. We have a game. Sunday. No, how soon after that do we have a game?
Wednesday.
Where's Prime gone?
I don't know.
It's bid. All right, cool.
Sunday and Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then Sunday.
Yeah, definitely.
You see my point?
We're definitely going to play a weaker team. But for me, it depends. It all depends on the quality that we have on. So for me, if he wants to change things up, and he wants to swap players out, for me, the first swap, which would be quite easy, would be a Lingard for a Greenwood, or swap that position. Yeah, whether it's James, whether it's Lingard, that's an easy one. Do you get what I mean? After that, it's a bit like, do you get what I mean?
I'm feeling that he might, because obviously we've beaten Chelsea 3 times this season, and I think this game for me is going to be determined by how Chelsea play. So if Chelsea play how they've played against us for 3 games, then for me, even if we put out a Daniel James, McTominay, Fred, we can beat them because we just hit them on the counter attack like we've done for the last 3 games. If Chelsea are smarter and say, well, you know what? Have the ball, Fred. Have the ball, McTominay.
They're never smart.
Then we're not gonna.
No, I was gonna say.
Frank Lampard got a pass all season long. He's made no adjustments for that. He's made no adjustments to protect his back four. No adjustments whatsoever. What I'm wondering is if Ollie's going to switch to a back three for this game.
Could be that. You know what? That's probably the best thing to do in terms of squad. In terms of, it might be a game where we approach it differently and we just we either try and hit them on the break, or I think we might even hit them on the break, three at the back, try and absorb, and you get what I mean. I think that might be the recipe.
I was going to say with Bruno and Pogba, you not worried that you're going to be tempted to attack a bit more?
We shouldn't start them.
With the amount of games we've got in a short space of time, I don't think Bruno and Pogba will play on.
Yeah, I think one of them will be rested.
I think both will play. I can see Ollie playing a strong team. I can see Ollie playing a strong team.
Bruno and Rashford. Like Bruno, you know how like Matic was Mourinho's guy no matter what? I think Fernandes is Ollie's guy no matter what.
Yes.
So I think Fernandes will play. Rashford is, even though he's come back from a back injury, he's a different type of athlete.
Yeah. And Rashford,
I want to see Ogala. I think Ogala will do well against their centre backs.
Rashford's looked better as the lockdown as the games have gone on.
Yeah,
how he's like Southampton and today were his two best games by far since he's had. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Rashford start.
I think that's because Rashford weren't fit before, and he's
he had to get himself back. He hasn't played since January, so it's understandable. So I could see Rashford starting. I could see Fred and McTominay coming in. Bruno starting makes sense, but
I can see James coming in as well.
Listen, if Chelsea, Daniel James for me makes sense only if we're going to play on the counter attack. If we stay Chelsea on the counter attack, then Daniel James makes sense.
Where do you guys sit on Daniel James? Because a few people are sort of low on him now because we've got a stronger 11. But don't forget, some of his best moments have been in big matches on the counter. That's now running through the middle, not out wide. He seems to do better just driving at people when he can go left or right.
I think this game coming up is a game for Daniel James. Like, it just makes sense. He's fresh. He has that he's going to run at guys nonstop. And Chelsea's weakness is what? Their defense is all over the place. It's never mind our defense. Chelsea's defense is all over the place. So if you put somebody like Daniel James, who's just going to cause havoc with Rashford on each side, you have Bruno you absorb. It's going to be a game where we absorb, hit them on the counter when one of their defenders is at midfield when they should be back. Perfect. That's how we're going to score. That's how it's going to be. It's going to be Rudiger slipping something crazy because they're going to be turned around trying to stick with one of them.
All right. We heard you. Relax.
I want to go to the Chelsea boys and say, can everyone do me a favor when you're not speaking? Could you all just mute? There's a lot of us on here, a lot of background noise, and that's sweet as. Thank you. For whatever reason, these earphones are real sensitive, and it hurts my ears so much. I'll sit here. I feel like a cat. Like, noise. Anyway, I'm chatting shit. Jem, I want to come to you, bruv. Obviously, you've come on the show a few times recently. I wish I could grow your hair like yours. Mine's gone. It's finished.
It's a perm, do you like my perm?
I was about to say, is that a perm? Is that a perm? Natural perm. Chelsea themselves have been struggling in recent weeks. We talk about our game tonight, struggling to beat Palace. You managed one goal against Norwich, who are one of the worst teams in Premier League history. Are you fearful of Man United this weekend, or do you almost feel like you've lost the last 4 games? You're just going to win this one because of probability anyway?
I said it before with Chelsea, and the thing with Chelsea at the moment, it's been like this all season, is that you either get a Chelsea that played against Man City, where they turn up and they were great from start to 90 minutes, they were great all the way through, or you get a Chelsea that played like they did against Sheffield United. Now, if we roll up to Wembley like we played against Sheffield United, then I'm expecting us to get battered about 4-5-0. Honestly, that's what I think, because you can't defend like that against Man United. It doesn't matter what team they're playing out. But yeah, it all really depends, because with the Man City game, we actually defended quite well most of the game, and we might even have to, out of respect to Manchester United, drop a little bit deep because our defence is a bit of a problem at the moment. So don't let the space behind. Don't give the space behind to allow the Rashfords and the Martials and whoever it is that's going to play. use their pace to run, and maybe just soak it up for a little bit, and then potentially maybe use our counter in the terms of Willian and Pulisic and try and maybe nick a goal, and maybe potentially two. And that's the only way I can see us pretty much winning, and possibly also having Kante as well. Having Kante back is a big bonus for us if he is back.
How often has Lampard actually done that? Changed his tactics? Like City are going to dominate the ball anyway.
But he did against Man City.
Lampard willingly possession.
He did against Man City. We conceded possession to Man City because we know from 1 to 11 we're a better team.
Yeah, but he's an outlier. I'm saying apart from City, when you guys actually
we did it against Liverpool. We conceded possession to them on the start, and we played on the. But you just asked me to name. You just said name games when we've done it.
It's willingly.
Two teams.
We did it. No, we did it willingly against Liverpool. We conceded possession and hit them on the counter. Then we grew into the game.
I think those two examples are teams that you wouldn't have even if you tried to dominate the ball, you wouldn't have done. Have you relinquished pressure? By the way, you're a better possession team than Man United have been for the majority of the season. Are you really going to change your style? Because for me, if Chelsea are not attacking us, if you're just trying to counter-attack us, I have zero fear. Because you've got Pulisic and that's it. Giroud on a counter-attack, he'll get there at halftime. Do you know what I mean? I'm not worried about the man on the counter-attack. Your midfield, I'm not worried about Ross Barkley on a counter-attack. I'm not worried about Ruben loft conversion cheek on a counter-attack. I'm not worried about, by the way, I can't call him Mason Mount anymore. There's only one
honest, most people aren't worried about most people aren't worried about Ruben, to be honest. He's quite, as talented as he is, I don't trust him staying fit for a season. I love the guy, but I don't trust him. I love the guy, but I don't trust him being fit for a season. To be honest. I don't hate my players, but I have to be honest. I have to be honest.
His knees are made of biscuits. Sell him on.
No, it's not his knees. It's his back. It's not even his knees. It's his back.
His body's broken. His body.
I have to be honest. It's the same thing as what was happening with Jack Wilshere. As talented as he was just never fit.
His body is the footballing equivalent of Amir Khan's jaw, bruv. That's it. Lock that man off.
I don't watch boxing, so I don't understand that reference.
You don't watch boxing?
Nah.
Oh God, we think that's you don't watch fighting.
No.
Cameron, do you watch boxing? I know you Canadians are quite passive. Do you watch boxing or any kind of fighting?
MMA. And I'm a martial artist. So.
What kind of martial arts did you do? Sorry, people.
Goju karate, junior black.
I came and taught kickboxing and karate in Canada, in Ottawa, for 6 months in the mid-noughties. I used to compete against Team Canada quite a bit at World Championships. So you guys got
I competed at the World Juniors. Got a
showing your age, Terry.
Oh wow! What association were you with?
My association was called it's Goju the style, and our sensei was Sensei Warner, was the big.
Oh, okay. So we used to compete in what was called the WKA and WACOs. I don't know if you've heard of that stuff.
Yep.
High level, right?
I forget what it was called for. Yeah, very high level. I forget what our association was called for. I have to go look at the
championships. Just saying. Anyway, I'm only messing, bro. I'm only messing. Team Canada were wicked though, especially the girls.
I was going to say, Chelsea. We may not have relinquished pressure, but we've definitely switched up formations for certain teams.
Like what?
Against Spurs twice, we played a 3 at the back.
Can I ask you a question? Is there any formation or any philosophy you adopt where Alonso isn't having to run back on a counter?
Playing with wing backs.
No, there's not one. No, he's still got to come back.
That's what I see on Sunday. I can see Alonso treading.
No,
I don't think Alonso starts. I don't think
Alonso won't start. It'll be Aspie at left back.
Reece James.
Yeah, it'll be Aspie and James.
Reece, you do realize Reece James is going to be baptized and lubricated by Marcus Doctor.
Yeah. Also, another thing I want to bring up, because Reece James has been a bit average since lockdown. A lot of Chelsea fans have been. No. Can you listen to what I'm saying? A lot of Chelsea fans have been on his back and giving him a lot of racist comments on his Instagram and stuff, and he's had to shut off his comments.
Who's that? Tammy?
Reece James. No, Reece James. I just thought I had to bring that up.
Wait a minute. So what are Chelsea fans abusing? You know what? No type of abuse, let alone racial abuse, is acceptable. But what are they having to go with Reece James for? In terms of what's the trigger? Other than them being racist scumbags, what's the trigger?
I don't know. Wait, to be honest, I don't even think because I think the last game he played was Sheffield. I think I don't even think he was that poor against Sheffield. He definitely wasn't that worst player.
It had nothing to do with this performance. It's because there was an incident with him in a car. That's like in London somewhere.
What do you mean an incident?
There's like an incident of him in a car, and like people were shouting at him, and he's like, I'm not sure whether it's him or not, but somebody responds, and then everyone was giving him grief for it.
You know why he's getting crap? And by the way, no type of abuse, let alone racial abuse, is ever acceptable. But do you know what is happening? It's the same thing. I heard this from Chelsea fans all season. He's as good as Trent going forward, and he's as good as AWB going back. He is the hybrid. He's the guy. And because he isn't as good at either of them, at either of those things, everyone's now getting angry that he's being found out. Same as Tammy. Tammy's getting a lot of stick. We put all these.
That's not his name. He's Bambi, bro.
No,
Bambi Abraham.
Listen, his first name is Kevin.
What?
His first name is Kevin.
That ain't a full name.
What are you talking about?
Tammy's first name is Kevin.
Oh, so he's a fraud twice then.
My point, the reason why he's getting, again, we put away the vile, nasty abuse because there's never a justification for that. But the reason Chelsea fans are turning on Tammy is because it was the no Didier Drogba. He scored 7 goals in 3 games. He's the guy better than Rashford. And then now everyone's looking at him going, basically, a younger, he's a little bit better than Peter Crouch. That's about it.
He's a bit better than Welbeck. That's what he is.
Nah, he's not. Put some respect on Welbeck's name.
Welbs had link-up play.
He's not, bro.
He had pace. He had skills. He just couldn't finish. That was it.
Man ain't talking on my brother like this. Man ain't talking on my guy like this. You're not talking on Welbeck.
I take
Abraham is dead. If he was this good, you would not be buying a 50 mil striker, bro. Let's just be honest, innit?
Thank you.
Mate, how many goals? What was Welbeck's maximum goals in the Prem?
Wait. Forget Welbeck. Forget Welbeck.
Because you guys are all saying that Welbeck's better than him. Relax.
He is.
That's a bit much, isn't it? Welbeck.
Yes, he's well better than Abraham.
Look at the team. Abraham couldn't touch that team. Abraham was at Man United when we went to. If Abraham was at Man United, when we went
Sneaks, I'm sorry.
Check this one out. Actually, you know how dead these are.
Guys.
Heavily was in our team. Come on.
If Abraham was in the Man United squad when we went to the Bernabeu in, what was the year? 2011?
Yeah.
He ain't starting. He ain't scoring. Come on. Because he's happy against Norwich. And
has Welbeck got 14 goals in the Premier League season?
No, but he's got a Premier League.
Yeah, but David, here's the thing. We've created the second most chances in the Premier League this season. Tammy has to score at least 14.
Yeah, mate, it's his first season playing for one of the top.
It's not. No. He's been playing first team football now for 4 seasons. Come on.
Stop that bullshit. I have to say, every time a Chelsea fan says it's his first season at the highest level.
Stop saying this first season bullshit. If you're big enough, you're old enough. Stop saying this first season bullshit.
Stop, Dave. He has played in 200 senior games.
Thank you.
And if you bought him at this point, at 22 with 200 odd senior games behind his belt, you wouldn't accept this amount of missed opportunities. The only reason you're giving him a free pass is because he becomes from your famed academy, which basically just is there to generate money on loan deals to keep you afloat so you can compete.
I'm telling you, Chelsea's academy.
Do you know
no history.
Terry, do you know how I can prove? Terry, do you know how I can prove that point? Terry, you know how I can prove that point? Because with Alvaro Morata, Chelsea fans were on his back. Even though there were justifiable reasons why he was performing poorly. He was coming back from injuries.
Dave, try your best to talk one at a time, otherwise the viewers can't hear you. Go on, what are you saying, David? Go on, David.
I was saying Morata was 50 mil.
He's going to do that.
Tammy was 3, all right? Okay.
So because Tammy was free, it justifies it. Because Tammy's free, it justifies it.
The next guy, but all I'm saying is, I personally would have him over Danny Welbeck. I'm just saying.
No.
I think
One
you guys
second.
have been a bit
Yeah.
harsh.
Guys, sorry to cut everyone. This is a good question, a great super chat, and I want everyone to have a vote on this. We'll start with JV first. Is Tammy even as good as Solomon Kalou?
No.
Go on. Chelsea fans, tell me now.
What? Solomon Kalou,
Tell me now.
cult
Is he as good
hero.
as Solomon
Solomon Kalou, a cult hero. No, he's not. Sorry, no. No, sorry.
Champions League winner.
Solomon
Right, check this
Kalou,
one.
an Ivorian legend. No.
That's the point. That is the point, right? He isn't as good as Solomon Kalou, and you would never have had him lead your line to try and win you a league title. And Man United fans are in the same base. We've got players. I love Scott McTominay because he's an academy player. I love him for those reasons. I would be horrified if we were like, yeah, he's going to be our leading midfielder moving forward. That's no good. You need beyond that. Go on, JV. Go on, bruv.
Just one thing here. This is why I know you, Chelsea man. On this Abraham thing, just allow it.
No, don't compare me to the. Don't bring me into
Chelsea fans. A year ago, you were comparing him to Rashford. Yeah. Listen, bro, he's not on Greenwood's level. Yeah. There you go. You get what I'm saying? He's not on Greenwood's level.
Give it to him.
He is.
Give it to him.
Sit there and tell
Any
me.
of the Chelsea fans saying that Tammy's as good as Rashford are basically like elite opinions.
What I'm going to say.
No. All of them said it. All of them said
Neeks, stop. I never said that. I've never said it. I've even come up here and said Tammy's a fraud. So
go on, Neeks, what you saying?
Listen, at the start of the season, and I say this every year, all of the rivals, what they do, they look at Man United's like most promising youngster, and they try and find someone in their academy or their youth who they can compare, which tells me that obviously our youngsters, or the best of our youngsters, are at the top. Arsenal did it with Iwobi. They're like, Iwobi's better than Rashford. Iwobi came when Everton. Chelsea did it with Tammy at the start of the season. When he had Patrick at the start of the season, he's better. He's better. Now, all of them are back in their shells. I ain't going to name no names, but some of them have been on this channel, and they've had to apologize and be like, yeah, I was wrong. You are so desperate to develop the academies and all the academy players that we've had.
Look at Marcus Rashford. Look at Marcus Rashford from September until now as a winger. Look at that contribution. That is
Terry.
Out of this world.
Yo, Terry, I've clocked who he is.
Who?
Do you remember Carlton Cole? That's who Abraham is, mate. That's who Abraham is, mate. That's levels. That's who Abraham is, bro.
Yeah, it's true. It's true because Carlton Cole was a decent championship striker. He was a decent championship.
No, that's true. That's facts.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't be saying. Wait a second.
No, go on, John. Go on.
Sorry, but would you guys be saying this at the beginning of the season? All right, we're digging out Tammy Abraham at the moment. Wait. Yeah. At the beginning of the season, when he was banging in the goals.
No, okay. Can we stop this?
Yeah.
Can we not? No. Can we?
Would you have said then?
Let Jim speak.
Would you have then said that Greenwood was a better player than Tammy Abraham? Then
let me answer that question. Let me answer that question because this thing of Tammy having a good start to the season is also a myth because he didn't start the season well. He only had a good October, November.
No,
so he didn't start the season well.
No, it was. And I know when it was. It was in the September because me and my guy Adam were doing our show at the time. I'm going to put it in there. He literally, if you look at his season now, the most important thing for a striker, in my opinion, is goals. Above everything else, it's goals, right? And
unless you're for me, no goals. I
want to show you this. I want to share this on the screen. And this. There were literally 3 games that made Tammy's whole season. Everyone's been raving about him. This is now. This is since November. That's what he's done. Look what he's done since January.
Terry, can you zoom it in, please?
Hang on. When was his purple patch?
Let me just speak for a second. So this is like since December. So since I know we had the breaks, but look at the amount of games, right? This is 20 odd games. He scored 3 goals for you in all competitions since December. The reason anyone raised about Tammy is for this little moment here in August and September where he scored 7 goals in 3 games. Outside of that, he then was okay in the middle of it. He scored, went 3 games out of goal, scored 2 goals at Champions League and in the Premier League, and then got an assist. Did all right. But then since December, that is not a striker who is going to win you titles.
No,
that's his record. And by the way, if you take out this beginning bit where these 7 goals went in, and I know you can't because he did it, but that there is a flashpoint. It's a little purple patch. You take that away, what else has this season done? What you need is as a striker to make you title winners. You look at Mane, if you look at Salah, they don't have a centre forward that does it. You look at Aguero, you look at these players, Harry Kane. There is assists and goals nearly the whole way through. Marcus Rashford, in his last 28 games in all competitions, has 29 goal contributions. That is elite.
Tammy,
no one's denying that. All I'm saying is that Chelsea have addressed the fact that I agree with Prime in saying that Tammy shouldn't be our starting striker because as of right now he's not good enough. So that's why he brought in Werner. Makes perfect sense to me. I've got no problem with it. But I think if Tammy had got the same number of goals and assists, but it was spread over the season, no one would have a problem. It's only because he kicked off so well at the start.
No, I would say
that's the point. But that's like saying, one second, because that means that little patch where he got the 5 goals that's an anomaly. If he was getting 1 and then none and then 1, then that's his constant level. But the fact that he got that patch and he's never repeated that, it's an anomaly. So that is the fact that we're using to prove the point. He ain't what you lot thought he was.
And
I never said he was dropped or anything. That's never been.
Nor did I, to be honest.
Because with me, like I'll say it now. For me, right now, I'm not going to say anything on Bruno, but just because I haven't seen enough of him. But I say the same thing about Pulisic. I say the same thing about Greenwood. I say the same thing about everyone.
David, here's the thing though.
Because when I judge players, I judge them over a longer period of time than most people. So I agree Bruno right now is good. Don't get me wrong. I agree with the fact that he's good. In fact, he's even great. But I'm not going to call him a great player.
Let me answer that.
Wait a second. But you're giving Bruno time now. But it seems like you have a prediction about Bruno. Say it with your chest. Get it off your chest.
No. I think Bruno is a great player. Don't get me wrong. But I also think Pulisic is a great player as well. But for both of these players, one plays for my team, one doesn't. But for both of them, I think the same.
No, Dave. What you're doing here, Dave? What you're doing here?
With Pulisic,
are you saying you have doubts that he's going to sustain this?
Personally for me, I think he's on a hot run. I think he will contribute.
Long hot run.
No. If it's over 5 games,
2.5 years.
If it's over 5 games,
longer than Tammy's.
I think Bruno's average will average out about 3 or 4 goals.
No, David, stop this. No, stop this, David. Stop this. I can't. No, stop it.
One at a time.
You know what it is.
I just wanted to get Dave on the record about Bruno because.
No, yeah. David, stop this, please. Stop this.
No. I'm not saying that Bruno is bad. I'm just saying that right now he's over a 5-game period. He's probably averaging about 7 or 8 goal contributions. I don't think that's sustainable for
5-game period. He's played 11 games and got 8 assists and 7 goals.
You realize Bruno's doing exactly what he was doing in Portugal.
Everywhere.
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying it. I'm just saying.
I don't get your point then. The point that makes sense.
Even if his numbers drop.
Guys, stop talking over David. Let me answer. We can't hear anyone. Sorry, come on, David.
Because he's playing in a better league, I expect it to drop off. If it doesn't drop off, I'll come on and say I'm wrong.
David, sorry, let me interject. But he's percent. I don't under. I've both said this on the show about 100 times. He was scoring and creating at 95% in Portugal. Since he's been in England, it's been at 122%. He's elevated. He's elevated himself.
For me, I don't think it's...
Then that's fine. But even if he drops now by 30%, it's still at 90%.
Yeah, that's why I said he's a great player.
And then there's no issue. If he's a great player, then what are you doubting?
She said, I think he will be a great player, but I'm not going to judge it now.
He is now.
No, Dave, what you're doing, sorry, Terry, guys. What you're doing, David, is because you have an opinion, but you're scared to fully say it with your chest. You're doing this whole, I think he will be, but bro, just say it with your chest. If you get it wrong, you get it wrong.
I think Bruno will be
and you're doing things. You're doing it with your own player. You're doing it with Pulisic. You're too scared to say your full opinion. Gas him, bro. Just gas him.
I think Pulisic is sick. I think Pulisic is sick. Don't get me wrong. But it is over this short period of this lockdown that I've seen him become this amazing player. If he don't sustain it, then what am I meant to say?
Can I just say this about Pulisic? Pulisic has been doing this for quite a few years now. This isn't his first breakout season.
Yeah, but not at this rate. Not at this rate. Look at
Yes, at this
his
rate.
season.
How we
Have
Go
you-
look
no,
at
have
his
you
last
seen-
seasons. He's never got contributed this kind of
His
goals
last
or
season,
assists
he
in
was
the league.
his last season was injuries, but have you not seen his previous seasons at?
Yeah, go look
Dortmund?
at his
Bruno.
previous
Let me
numbers.
finish. No, let me finish. Look at Bruno's previous seasons at what was it, at Porto? He was at. Look at his previous seasons. Those are numbers you can actually judge at a player where he's at and where he actually can be. Look at Tammy's previous seasons. They haven't been that great, only in the championship. Kaiser,
Yeah, but you know who else you can throw into that, and I know he's not started playing for shit, but Hakim Ziyech. If you look at his statistics for Ajax, amazing for 2 and 3 seasons consistently, he's been very good. So has he got a lot of expectations coming into Premier League and doing the same or potentially better like Bruno did? Then we're going to see.
Yeah,
He does. The same as when Tottenham signed. I'm going to throw this name out there. When Tottenham signed Rebrov, I think his name was. He came into Tottenham with a banging goal scoring record on the continent. When Dirk Kuyt came into Liverpool, he was scoring 20. I'm actually going to I swear, he was scoring 20, 30 goals a season. When he came in, that's why Dirk Kuyt will always be remembered as he was a good player. But Dirk Kuyt came in as a 30 goal a season striker. The expectation was you do that. Now, for me, this whole, like, if you don't come in and deliver, then they're not of the level. But Bruno's come in and hit the ground right. And the great example about Bruno is this. He's had 2 games in a Man United shirt when he hasn't been at his best. And in one of them today, we're still voted for, I've just read by BT, by the BBC, and by 3 different websites, we're still voted as man of the match tonight. Now, but the point is, some people still looked at it and saw a good performance. I would have given it to Rashford myself. I think Dr. Rashford deserved it. But, like, this kind of notion that if you're killing it on the continent, the expectation is you kill it here. Now, you give it a bit of time. You know, I'll give you 2 seasons. You've got to do something. You've got to deliver something. Otherwise, it was all hype.
Terry, I need to head off. Let me just say a final word. I know we're talking about strikers. I need to rise up Anthony Martial because there's so much talk in the media, and I don't just mean the mainstream media, but also social media, about Man United needing a striker. And I keep hearing this, and I'm looking at it like, and I'm looking at, are you not even watching our games? Are you not actually seeing the work that Anthony Martial's doing? Anthony Martial, and that's work like off the ball, in terms of link play, but just in terms of his goal scoring record, he has got 22 goals and 8 assists this season in all competitions, 104 minutes per goal contribution. He is the striker that we need, that people keep saying that we need. I'm not saying there's not, I'm not saying that he's better than Aubameyang or he's better than Kane, but I wouldn't swap Anthony Martial. But I wouldn't swap Anthony Martial for any of them. Any of them. And the link play that he has with Marcus Rashford is so lethal that, for me, I'm not splitting that up. So I don't even like the discussion about who's better.
Wait, but you know what we said earlier about Tammy. Look, I know that some people did compare Tammy to him, right? And there's only 2 years age difference. Look at this from the start of the season. Very few gaps in between goals or assists, and that's a contributor. And the great thing is, since the Pogba, and we always said this about us getting more creativity, he would deliver with more service. Since we've had Pogba back and Bruno back and Rashford back, the man has got 9 goal contributions in 8 games. Can you imagine?
He's a complete striker.
Exactly.
He's absolutely amazing.
Can you imagine the
He's
potential?
what Firmino should be.
If you add Sancho into that mix as well, and maybe Grealish from the bench.
Let me say, people can bring up his goal record. He has had 2 seasons at Man United. His first and his current, where he's actually played as a striker. And his average goal for the season is now at 20 over those 2 seasons. I want that from our striker and more. And he's going to give us more once he learns or relearns that.
More time this year.
He's what we need in terms of a striker. We strengthen in other positions, but in that number 9 position, not the one. Guys, I need to head out. Good. Sunday, hopefully, we get that W.
Yeah, man. Take care, Nick. See you later on, bro.
On
what he was saying there, I was looking at it now. I didn't realize it. This is his 5th season, but there's some things to consider within this. One, he was moved out to the wing, or played as a winger for the first 3.5 years of that. He didn't have that whole middle period with Jose where they just weren't getting on, so he didn't play or start as many games as he should have done. But when you look at him as a player, just look at league goals only. 11 league goals in his first season, and then it was 4, 9, and 10. This year it's jumped up to 17. There's one big shout out here as well. Ollie don't improve players. 17 goals from him this year. It's his best ever goal scoring season anywhere, right? He's got 22 goals in all competitions. And Man United have still got quite a few games left. Like
Terry,
sorry,
bro. Terry, can you just put that super chat, the hate for Martial?
I think I just saw it. Saw it.
From who? Prince.
From Prince.
It's Bruno hate. It's Bruno slander.
Yeah.
Oh, Bruno, sorry. Just the hate.
No, it's funny.
This is stupid because it's like, what's he meant to do? Not pass the ball.
Sorry. So what this person is basically saying is that the only valuable assist is a 30-yard pass on the deck if it splits the defense. If it's not that, then it's not a valuable assist. Like, what type of foolishness is that? Doesn't make any sense.
That's an angry man. That's an angry man coming.
One of Bruno's best assists is the red card against Norwich, but obviously it doesn't go down as one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't get an assist tonight for Rashford's goal because Rashford took 3 touches. If you take more than 3 or more touches, the assist disappears. And that's where watching the game is important because he's passed inside correct. Without that pass, it doesn't count, but he doesn't actually get an assist for it. I think he gets a second assist for doing that. But it's like, that's where you have to look at statistics carefully because it's still the same through ball. Rashford then just had to take an extra touch to sit the players down. If Rashford with when Rashford's touch made the players sit down, if it had shot then and it had gone in, if it had shot then, it would have counted as a chance created and it missed. It would have been a chance created for Bruno. But because he cut it back so he could score, it takes the statistic away from Bruno. That's where the eye test is needed as well because without that pass, that goal don't happen. And who knows what would have gone in that game. Bruno, if people think Bruno's a fraud, they're off their head. What about his pass into Martial where Martial missed against Tottenham? Remember that cut and pass? Like, at the end of the day, you want to slag him off, you're off. You're on.
Jerry, can I say this to Jem very quickly because I've had this thought for a minute. On Ziyech, he's got Champions League pedigree. So when he comes there, he has to deliver. Like, the Dutch thing I get, but it's what he did in the Champions League that's making man feel like, okay, this guy's a player. So he has to deliver when he comes to Premier League.
Just a quick one on that one, same point there. The one thing with Ziyech, what you're not realizing, one of the last players you got from Holland, the Dutch from the Dutch league. Do you remember Kesman? Do you remember Kesman's scoring record?
Yeah.
And do you remember Kesman when he come to use? So I'm not saying there's not good players. Kesman's an amazing player. Ziyech, amazing player. It's and Werner. This is going to be their. They are now going to be expected to come in and do a Bruno Fernandes. Do you get what I'm saying? If they don't, you've seen how quickly your fans turn on your own players who've come through your academy. How quickly will they turn on them? That's one thing you might have to watch out for. Because to be honest, you know as Chelsea fans, your club's not your club. I think your fans are quite toxic towards some of your players. It can go.
Not just that, players and managers.
Do you know what I mean? Innit? It goes a bit up and down like that. So
Dirk Kuyt, when he was playing in Holland, in the 4 seasons leading up to him joining Liverpool, he scored 23, 22, 36, 25 goals respectively in the season. One year he actually got 29 league goals. When he came in, that's why I always look at him. And I'm say he's a flop. Some people think it's disrespectful, but when you come in and you've scored over 120 odd goals in 4 seasons, when you then don't even end up with a total of 100, you only end up with a total of 71 goals in double the amount of time at Liverpool. That's a flop, in my opinion.
Yeah, Terry, the chat's demanding elite opinions.
Elite opinions can call in. We don't have any space, but elite opinions can call in if you want. Josh, what do you want to say, mate, to the boys?
Hey, just want to say what's up to everybody first. Yeah, let me make this quick. I'll try to condense everything into one line. As first off, Avengers Assemble. Avengers Assemble. Yeah.
Captain America. That don't make no sense. We've got Captain America.
We have got Captain America. His name is
Captain America.
He's not American.
Captain America's old. He's out of here. I wanted to touch on Timothy Fosu-Mensah because I feel like today what I saw out of him, in terms of all the characteristics that we applaud in Matic, I saw in Timothy Fosu-Mensah, and he has all of the capabilities to be a great CDM for us. We lacked a little bit of forward momentum in terms of, like Shaw and Rashford have developed that chemistry in terms of the overlapping runs down the left. And of course, Timbo didn't manage to get that done today. But in terms of his composure, his hold-up play, his defensive rigidity, he could be the replacement for Matic at some point. Martial, best creative striker in the league. I don't give a, you know. And if you're gonna say anything against that, we have a saying in South Africa. It goes sack, and what that loosely translates to is just get the F out of here.
Sack.
He's everything. Yeah, sack.
Might have to use that one still. Might have to use that one.
He's everything that Liverpool fans want Firmino to be, but he creates goals, he scores goals. He's the best. he's the best creative striker in the league.
Oh, you went there.
Who is this guy? Get him on board.
100% I went there.
Just a quick one.
Beyond Borg is dropping it tonight. Go on, bruv.
Just a quick one for the Chelsea fans.
I'm trying to drop truth bombs here, guys. I'm here to drop truth bombs.
Drop it, fam.
Drop them.
Drop them.
They're bursting.
I got all day to drop these truth bombs too. And just in terms of Rashford, I know we've been calling him Dr. Rashford. I know we've been calling him Sir Marcus Rashford. But in my eyes, not too long ago, Ollie said that nobody has the divine right to earn first-team football, but Saint Rashford. Rashford has that divine right, my friends.
A few people have messaged me saying you like Beyond Borg in his day. I thought there's a little bit of Beyond Borg about you, bro. The famous tennis player.
Strong resemblance. Strong
Listen,
resemblance.
guys, this is that Super Saiyan 3 here. I'm trying to actualize that.
Okay.
Someone in the comments there, have you got Lee asking for a friend?
I'm down for the Dragon Ball all day long.
Talk that Dragon Ball Z shit, man. Yes, talk that Dragon Ball Z shit. Tell him
Man, if we're talking Dragon Ball Z, we got Vegeta on the
You got the Vegeta.
I didn't watch Dragon Ball Z. I'm sitting here and I'm like, no idea what you meant. I never watched that.
Yeah. Just a quick one for you Chelsea fans. Yeah? For you Chelsea brethren. Don't try that.
You're a prick.
Don't try them things, Terry.
He's right. He's right when it comes about anime. But yeah, continue.
Nah, just a quick one for you Chelsea fans. Yeah, if you want to take Abraham seriously, you need to come up with a term like for Firmino. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
like
think
defensive striker and that. You can call him like a. I've got it.
Seriously.
No, I've got it, bro. Non-goal scoring forward.
That's Firmino, though. That's Firmino.
Yeah, Tammy's got more goals than Firmino. Tammy has more goals.
Yeah, it's not hard though, innit?
Firmino is a defensive striker.
Yeah,
remember, it's Firmino goals. Firmino goals. Firmino goals.
Everyone else has a centre forward.
Yeah.
It's hard for other fan bases to rate Tammy when fans in our own fan base don't even rate him.
Well, yeah.
Now, just one thing as well. No, seriously, I honestly think he's not going to be there for more than 2. If Werner starts banging in the goals, you'll get rid of him ASAP.
It'll be the new Didier.
No, it won't even be the fact that we'll get rid of him. He will leave because apparently he wants, or his agent wants more money and parity with like.
Jem, I just wanted to address like that question you had earlier, saying if United fans would have thought Greenwood would be better than Tammy at the start of the season. Yeah. Now, I mean, if you were Ollie in, you 100% you thought so, because what was everybody saying when we sold Lukaku? Where are the goals going to come from? How are we going to replace them? Anybody who had faith in them goals coming around, who was it going to come from? Greenwood. It was Greenwood, and you needed Martial and Rashford to be 20 goal scorers. We needed that. But where were those other? It was going to be Greenwood. So
did Ollie not come out and say that Greenwood can be the guy?
Ollie multiple times said not having a replacement for Lukaku and Sanchez clears the pathway for Greenwood. It also allowed him to have Martial as his number one no matter what.
Exactly.
It wasn't giving him the time though, was he, at the beginning? That was the thing. It was a risk. It was James always getting played, wasn't it?
No mistake about it. If we threw money at Dybala, he'd be a Man United player right now. But we've moved past doing things like that now. We don't do that no more. We don't do that no more.
Jem, just that comment as well, Jem, what you said about Greenwood not getting enough time. I think that was actually planned. Like at first, I thought I was like, "Oh, Ollie don't know what he's doing." Blah blah blah. But when you actually look at the progression of Greenwood, it's actually a planned process.
I was going to say
And then and now that after he's come back off the after lockdown, he's looking big, isn't it? Man's looking like he's put on some mass, and I think that's what they was waiting for. They're waiting for his body to develop to a point where he can play week in, week out, and just be Captain Marvel because he's sick in it. So
Terry will know when it happened, but there was a point in the season where Ollie actually had to come out and say, "Look, Greenwood hasn't been in the squad because certain things he hasn't been showing me certain things in training." And that might have been around December or January, maybe.
About that, yeah. Maybe a little bit sooner.
But there was a plan.
Yeah, and this is where football teams need to, football fans, need to relax a little bit, because I think we're in this situation where we want everything now, and we don't often think about the science of it. Now, when you're a Wayne Rooney, I mean, I look at Wayne Rooney, I look at Cesc Fabregas as two standout examples. They were built like men. Now, Fabregas wasn't ever a big man, but he didn't look like a skinny little boy when he broke in at 16, 17. They were kind of built like men early, but their career still died out at 28. Would I have not preferred, with hindsight, would I have preferred Rooney to have been bled in a little bit longer and still be balling now like Ronaldo is? Or Ronaldo and Messi, a different kettle of fish maybe, but it's almost the element of, I don't want to burn Greenwood out. Equally, Michael Owen, Theo Walcott, these men were played too much when they were boys, and they damaged their bodies for me at a young age. They should have been bled in slowly, because they were built like, you look back at footage of them when football players were a lot musclier and bigger than they are now. They were little children. They were legit kids. And I think they damaged their bodies too much as young men. So I look at Greenwood and just think, I'm happy for the next 18 months to 2 years for us just to nicely beat him in. I worry about Mbappe. I worry about Mbappe hitting about 26, 27 and him being finished. Not because like what Messi and Ronaldo are is rare. What Ryan Giggs did was rare. Like Ryan Giggs, the only reason Ryan Giggs and Paul Scholes continued on as long as they did is because they were such good footballers, they could change positions. Ryan Giggs, if he was no good in central midfield, we wouldn't have kept him till he was 40, because he was no good as an out-and-out winger from the age of about 33, because most 33-year-olds can't play that in the Premier League at that age. But he was such a good baller, he could adapt, and he did well in the middle. Scholes went from being almost a second striker right back in the end to being a sort of quarterback style. If he didn't have the passing range, he couldn't have done that job. So I look at the Mbappes of this world, who are that he's a good finisher. So much of his game is predicated on pace. 2 bad hamstring injuries, like Torres had, like Michael Owen had. What happens then? And when you play from such a young age and you're used so much, and every game is intense, I worry. Now, the saving grace for Mbappe is he's playing in France most weeks, and I don't think the level was highly that intense. That might help him, but I worry about. I'm happy for him to be bleeding slowly. And what we have now that we didn't have then is sports scientists, and they don't allow. They have almost the only person that can overrule them is the manager. If they come out and say this guy is red zone, this guy is close to red zoning, the managers don't play him, because that's when you're highly likely to see hamstrings snap, ligaments go. Like Michael Owen's knee ligament injury that happened in 2006. It happened because he rushed back after the metatarsal injury, and the muscles and the body wasn't ready to play with that intensity, and that little twist did it. They literally told him before he went, you are risking major injury because your body isn't physically ready. It's like, if you have an exercise for ages and you go to the gym and you have a big session and you can't walk for a week, your body ain't ready for that kind of session. You build into it slowly. And when it comes to Mason Greenwood, for me, I worry that fans they want it now. And actually, I just want it when it's ready. Do you get what I mean? I don't want it. It's like cooking chicken, bro. I don't want to eat it early when it's fucking prime. You don't want it overcooked and dry like a lot of white people make it. But you also
season your chicken.
Hang on. Let me just do one little thing. I season chicken too much. No, don't actually. You boys are all going to come to mine for a barbecue, and then I'll see. It'll be like, yeah, there we go. You'll see. I know what I'm doing, man. I got to talk to cook by Jamaican lady. I'm good, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Terry, we trust you, man. Yeah, man, we trust you, Terry. But on the fact of players getting injured and possibly going out as well, I think with that, one thing Giggs did and one thing Ronaldo does very well is them two looked after their body. I don't think Rooney helped himself. I think you have to look after your body and keep yourself.
Man, do all that yoga and that in it
to help your career.
I think he did a different form of exercise with his brother's wife.
You know what? It's deeper with Giggs. Did you know Ryan Giggs controlled his sprinting? Do you know how intelligent you have to
elaborate.
control your sprints?
Go on, elaborate.
Next level intelligence.
What did he do? Explain that. I don't know what that means.
What, controlling your sprinting? Basically, he wouldn't sprint 100% all the time. He'd control it. 70%
Messi does that.
here, 100% when I have to. He controlled his sprinting because he knew his hamstring was susceptible to injury.
Oh.
If you notice, Mason Greenwood's a bit like that as
I
well.
think-
There's times where you see Mason run and you're like, oh, he's not really going anywhere. But then there's other times like, yo, this kid's rapid. So I think he's developing that, I actually don't need to sprint as hard as I need to here, and I need to sprint as hard as I need to there. Everyone in the chat, I love Mason Greenwood. So I will tell you everything about him, fam.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So I could say, wait. So I could say to my football manager, like the team I play for, like, nah, I wasn't not running. Man just controlled sprinting. Man can use that as an excuse, and yeah. Man can use it as an excuse. I'm just asking you, man. Yeah, man gigs in it.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to run. I'm like Perlo when I play ball. I don't like to run.
To do it. So that's why you're
Prime, you've been called out, bro. Prime. The people here think you're a fool, bro. They think you're a fool.
No, I can see it. Well, the thing is, though, I'm over here and you're in the comments, so come to me if you want to come to me.
Fucking shit, man.
You know what? Can I just say, what he just said, I felt that way when the league was, unofficial pundit was getting cheeky with JV. I felt the exact same way then. You wouldn't get cheeky like that in his face. Don't
Unofficial pundit wouldn't, to a point where I've met unofficial pundit, and actually, he's a really, really nice guy. He is so nice, and you never know what people are going to be like until you meet them. When I met him as well, like he said hello, and I was like this. I was like, "Hello, Terry." Yeah, hello. Oh, hi.
Oh, you want to remember this?
Yeah, honestly, bruv. Honestly, he like Kevin Hart looks like Andre the Giant next to him.
I'm just saying, right? Elite Opinions is calling out Prime, you know.
Elite Opinions is leading the Prime chat. Elite, come on, let's talk then.
Do you know what's funny about all of that, though? Now, I always say anyone who comes on, though, and Elite Opinions, the unofficial pundit, I'm only pulling your leg. Don't get triggered in emotion. Like anyone who comes on and puts their face on camera. The one thing I say to you, Elite Opinions, is you don't put your face on camera. And that, look, if there's like an emotional reason why you don't do it, I respect that. But it's more the point that I think you like the anonymity. They think you can say something mad and then no one's going to recognize you on the road. And boys, if you guys continue on this channel for another couple of years, trust me, you'll start getting noticed. Adam Charles tells me the amount of times he gets dragged over. He's like, oh, you're Terry, you're in this. It will happen. So Elite Opinions, we know why you're hiding your face because you don't want to get recognized on the road. We get on my 1.8 million unique viewers a month. Now, that isn't anything compared to the
numbers, man.
But that's 1.8 million unique individuals.
Terry, see that. Wayne Smith.
Hey.
The subtle flex right there.
That's 1.8 million. So that's 1.8 million more than what Spurs spent in their last transfer window. Is that right? I'm just making sure, innit? Yeah, make sure. My maths is bad, so I'm just making sure. That's all. 1.8 million.
Yeah, no, I get that. But it's going to be fun when we start doing these watch-alongs and stuff because I actually do need a Man United fan this weekend, to be fair, on Sunday. If anyone knows anyone that I've got to trust them. The only issue I have is trusting these people because like we invited a guy once to the studio, and obviously the studio wasn't my home. My kids didn't live there, and this guy turned up, and it got to a little point where it was like, yeah, we had to. Well, we didn't call security. We didn't have security. I had to call my boys. I was like, boys, I need you to come get some of that studio because this guy was going like, you know, when someone's you could tell he was casing out the place because we were in this studio in this place where there was this business. They used to really weird company, but they basically took all old cassettes from TV companies and turned them into digital format. So there was these shelves of thousands of videos, and it was all sorts of TV shows from the 90s onward. And their job was to convert them into digital format. But you could tell this guy was casing it out, and I'm like, he's going to rob this place. He's going to call someone. You can just tell he had no reason to be looking in the rooms he was in. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, and I'm just having a look around. And I was like, boys, we need to get this guy out of here because trust me, stuff's getting jacked. He's going to rob someone. So like my brother and a few mates turned up. It was weird because they stood up and sat there. And I was like, you're right, boys. And they sat there in silence. And they were just, this guy was like, who are they? I said, oh, my friends. And they were like, oh, they're your friends. Because obviously I was wearing skinny jeans at the time. I had a slide part in. I'm like, yeah, you didn't think, bruv, did you? You just thought if I called my friends, it was going to be fake tans, bleached blonde hair, and fake teeth like Simon Cowell. Only way is Essex. No, bro. I don't roll with them people.
Right, the legends in the chat again with a super chat. The
Here he is,
legend.
my guy, flawless. You beat a pub team. We're gunning for you next season. That is Zane.
My guy Zane.
Man, Zane.
Man, keep spending them.
Also, can I just say,
keep dropping them super chats.
Frog says Prime should stick to rugby, lad. I don't play rugby, bro. So that's a bit dead.
That's because they hear the Irish accent and they're like, yeah, that means you play rugby.